Hey guys, it's Pastor Andy here with the Beat Church, and I'm on day number 2 right now of God of the Impossible. You know, we feel like we're living right now in times where so many things, even basic things, are virtually impossible. We try to plan a birthday party. We try to just plan an outing with the family. We try to get ready for school, and it's impossible because we don't even know what's going on. We don't know if there's going to be school. We don't know if it's going to be canceled. We don't know if it's going to be online, in person, or else if it's going to be in person, separated out into little tiny individuals in a class and no one can talk to them or touch them. So kind of in person. If that you can be in person at all, I don't know. Very weird. But even getting ready for school seems impossible. And so we serve a God who is amazing. And I'm going to be going through different historical people from the Bible and seeing how their relationship with God worked. And also, I'll be interviewing some people and having guest speakers on as I do this that share from their own personal experience and walk of what it's like to serve and follow God today in impossible times. Today, specifically, we're going to be talking about God's favor. And what I want you to realize is that God's favor is not what you think it is. I'm specifically going to go to a verse in Genesis. And this verse in Genesis is about a man named Noah. And Noah lived in a time where things were wicked and crazy. So bad that God finally said, you know what, enough. I'm going to wipe out the earth because people are incredibly wicked. And I don't even have a vision for getting them cleaned up. I'm just going to wipe this out like a virus, like a cancer. You know, we think about a virus and say, man, we have to do whatever we can to wipe it out because it's bringing destruction. And right now there's people saying we have to wipe out all of our history because they feel like it brings destruction and negativity and it contributes to racial division. Whatever your views are on those things, my point is that when something is destructive, we understand that it really needs to be wiped out. Well, God looked down at humanity and said, humanity itself is destructive. I need to wipe it out. But there was a man named Noah, and here's the tricky thing. And what we're going to talk about today is that God said that Noah had found favor with him. And you can see this verse out of Genesis chapter 8. It's right here next to me. And God actually said that Noah found favor with him. So what does favor mean? Because we always talk about, man, if only a God could have favor on me. And we pray, Lord, times are hard. Will you give me favor? Lord, I just want your favor. I want your help. Lord, I want you to look down on me and smile. And in today's culture, we often think of favor as blessing. Just blessing in the terms of God give me more money, God make life easier, make my life smooth. That's a God of favor. Well, how's it going today? Man, I am a favored child of God. I'm walking in God's favor, man. I am just swimming in the favor of God. That probably means I got a new shirt. That means I got a nice car. It means none of my family's sick. It means everything is going really well. That's favor. Well, that's not really how the Bible defines favor. Because we look at the story of Noah who found favor with God. And if you read on to the story, what that meant is that God called him to step out of culture, all of the wickedness and chaos is going on around him, and to build Noah's ark, the giant boat that was going to be filled with animals, so that when God flooded the earth and destroyed everything, that this boat could float and save Noah and his family and save the animals that God wanted to preserve. What does that look like in real life? In real life, it looked like Noah was rejected, that people cast him out. People thought he was a fool. They mocked him. And it also meant approximately, based on historical numbers, approximately 70 years of hard labor building this giant boat. Can you imagine that? What if God came to you today and said, oh, you are my divine child. I love you. Oh, I have birthed you and just love you by my spirit. You're amazing. You're wonderful. And I'm going to bring you favor. That means I want you to go outside and build something for me. And by the way, it's going to take the next 70 years of your life. People are going to make fun of you for it. They're going to mock you for it. Your life is going to be difficult and hard. That's what happened to Noah. He found favor with God. And so when we're going through difficult times and we pray and we say, oh, God, give me favor, and then it seems like everything is so difficult, it's tempting to think, man, I'm not in God's favor. God must not love me. God doesn't care about me. because nothing's going well. Things are hard. Well, if you define favor as smooth and easy, then you will most often feel out of favor with God. You will most likely feel like God's not even with you. But that's not what favor means. Favor means that God's with you in the struggle, that God's going to take you through the struggle, and in the end, God is going to give you victory over the struggle. See, when the floodwaters came and flooded the earth, that is when Noah's family was saved. And after the floodwaters receded and that season of trial and difficulty was over, that is when they prospered. So God asked Noah to do an impossible thing during a very difficult time. The earth was filled with wickedness and mayhem and craziness and violence. And God said, you know what, Noah? I want you to follow my lead. I want you to do what I have for you to do. And it may seem impossible to build this boat for a flood that you don't even know is coming. You can't see it. There's never been a flood like this. You can't look at history to find it. The water all around you is not flooding the ground, and you're building this boat in emergency. It seems almost like the idea of the flood's impossible. The idea of building this giant boat is even more impossible. Trying to gather all of these animals, whoa, even more impossible. Some animals are easier to gather than others. I got a dog, I can hold out a biscuit, boom, he's coming. But if you've ever tried to chase a chicken, totally different story. Totally different story. Yet Noah had to do these impossible things. Why? Because God called him to do them, and because God had favor on him. So what you should get from this story is that God calls us to things, and when God pours out his favor, maybe favor that you've been praying for, when God pours out his favor, it brings with it the impossible. Things that are impossible for us to do, which means that God is coming along too. He's saying, hey, jump in. We're going to go for a ride. You want my favor? We're about to get crazy. We're going to do something way beyond your ability. So if you feel like you're in a life circumstance that's beyond your ability and you're calling out saying, God, where's your favor? Don't you love me? The answer is yes and yes. He loves you. And he's given you his favor, and he's with you. He's with you in the struggle. He's with you through the struggle. And he'll be with you in the victory. Listen to God, respond in faith, move forward in your life, whether you're parenting, whether you're working on restoring a relationship, whether you're starting a business, whether you're opening up a ministry or an outreach, whatever it is that God is moving on your heart for right now in your life, that's going to be a blessing and help others and honor God. Now is a great time to do it. And if it feels like a struggle, it doesn't mean God isn't favoring you. Favor is shown when God calls you to do the impossible, and he comes along with you to get the job done. Have a great day today. I hope this filled your faith. Share it with others. Let's fill some people's faith bucket. You know, we've heard about news and fake news. Let's have some faith news that builds people, encourages people, and helps them do the impossible during an impossible time, because we serve a God of the impossible. Thanks for being on here. I'll see you tomorrow.